Come back. Indeed, people are texting me. Thank you for putting Father Frank back on with it. Are you kidding me? I love this man. I love his work that he's doing.
And you know what? Remember, Father Frank Pavone is a priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek.
That's why I keep calling him Father Frank Pavone, Jesse. You nailed it.
One of the things I like about Father Pavone is his moral clarity.
Exactly.
And I hate to say it, that's why you see him right now without a Roman collar. I'll be honest with you, because we're living in the times of just like the persecution of the great, the Catholic Church in England, where the people that spoke the truth, their heads were cut off. In America right now, the people that speak the truth, they get their collar taken away. Father Pavone is one of the first priests I ever heard say you can be a Catholic and be a Democrat. I probably heard him say that about 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, hey, you know when you hear the truth, the way truth rings true in your soul, I'm saying, what? He's right. Why aren't more people saying that? And then, then I started hearing other people like Father Altman, Cardinal Raymond Burke. But Father was the first one that fired the shot across the bow. When I heard him say it, I like saying, he's right.
Yeah, because that's the difference. You have to understand, a lot of these people, like going back to that thing about, I'm not going to vote, I'm going to sit this out. A lot of it is rooted in a very naive and uninformed mind about what is at stake here. We have a party, the Democrats, who are deeply involved in censorship. Yep. They don't want us to speak. I mean, have people not seen this? Have they not seen the admission from the government that Mark Zuckerberg even said, hey, we collaborated with the Biden administration to tamper down messages on Facebook. This is all out in the open. It's all clear as day. It happened and it continues to happen. They hate the First Amendment. Yeah. We need that as Catholics. How are we going to preach the faith if we don't have the First Amendment? How are we going to preach the gospel if we don't have, how are we going to have a show like this?
Exactly.
I mean, anybody who's listening to this program right now, you want this to continue in America? That we can get on here and criticize these politicians? They're not going to let us get away with that for too long. This administration right now fast-tracked a purchase by none other than Soros of a whole bunch of conservative radio stations.
That's right.
The direction that they're going in is clear. Now, President Trump, it's not that he articulates our principles exactly the way we believe them. We don't need him to. You know why we don't need him to? Because we're doing it. That's our job.
Exactly.
And we're going to continue doing it. We're always going to be faithful to the truth. What we need in government is people that are going to allow us to continue to do our job. And so what they need to be doing is preserving our freedom. What they need to be doing is coming against and stopping the other side. When Trump defeated Hillary Clinton back in 2016, we had the big national prayer service on the day of the March for Life, which we'll be doing again this year. We do it every year. And I said, some people are asking me, what's President Trump going to do for the pro-life movement? And I said to them in my sermon that day, I said, he already did the greatest thing he's going to do for the pro-life movement. He kept Hillary Clinton out of the White House.
Exactly.
So it's like you got to start with the mindset of we got to keep these people out of power that want to destroy the very tools that we need.
Yeah.
It's not that he's the best spokesperson for the pro-life message. It's that he's going to preserve the tools we need to speak the pro-life message. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. Keep pro-lifers out of jail. Let us be out there doing our work instead, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to preserve the Constitution itself.
One sentence
I agree.
I've ever heard in my life. I'm going to repeat what Father said for purposes of the audience. I wrote it down. Father said, I'm not looking for a president who's of my faith. I'm looking for a president that lets me live my faith. Mm-hmm. Think about that. We've already had two presidents of my faith, Kennedy and Biden. How well did that work out? Well, I can't remember Kennedy's presidency. I was too young. But how did that work out? A president of our faith, Joe Biden. I like, Father, that's right on. I want a president who's going to be like Emperor Constantine, Cyrus the Persian king. Give me liberty and give me freedom so that I can evangelize as a disciple of Christ. That's all I'm asking for. Freedom and liberty. I'm not asking you for you to do our job. We'll evangelize. We will reach the fullness of truth. Just let us do our job.
It's even more clear when it comes to, there's 10 states that have these abortion ballot measures.
Yes, they do.
And you vote for that. It's even more clear. Because people can, with a candidate, but there's other issues. But with a ballot measure, there's no other issue.
That's right.
That's the issue you're voting on right then and
Good
there.
point.
Should there be unlimited abortion?
Good point.
So we're talking about everybody. Stateballotmeasures.org is the website where you can track all this information. State ballot measure. We're talking about Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New York, and South Dakota. Those are the 10 states. They have to vote no on these abortion amendments that they would put in the state constitution, unlimited abortion. So yes, I mean, can you commit a sin by voting? Absolutely. You say you agree with that. See, there's no way to vote for the ballot measures and say you don't agree with abortion. I mean, how does that How does that work?
Yeah.
Sometimes with a candidate, you can say, well, I agree with the other position, but I don't agree. Still, abortion still outweighs it. So what you're saying is correct. But with a candidate, sometimes it becomes more cloudy. But with these 10 ballot measures, my goodness, there's black and white.
Amen. Jess?
Father, one of the things that I try to share with Catholics to try to get them to understand is that a Biden-Harris-Walz administration, Catholics have no voice. Catholics don't have a seat at the table.
Right.
We can't even begin to discuss these issues like gentlemen, the issues of life and marriage and open borders. With a Trump-Vance administration, Catholics have a seat at the table.
That's right.
And it's been proven because he was president already for 4 years, so it's not like we don't know how he's governed. And Catholics had a voice and a vote and a seat at his table. Right. In fact, many of his key advisors were practicing Catholics. And so that's the fundamental difference. Again, I'm talking about here between Emperor Constantine and Emperor Nero. Emperor Constantine is going to say, I want to hear from you, Catholic Christians. Tell me, give me your feedback. You guys aren't evil people. I want to give you religious liberty. Emperor Nero is going to tie you up to a stake and put tar on you and burn you alive. That's the difference between both administrations. Yep. One, we have a voice. The other wants us to wear that Fauci mask all day long.
They're directly and systemically attacking the positions of the Catholic faith.
That's right.
You read the Democrat platform, the Democrat strategy memos, it's all about what we call religious freedom, they call discrimination. And this is very dangerous. They are going to consider our positions to be discriminatory. When we say that, God has a plan, for marriage and family, parental rights is something that they're attacking left and right and center. I mean, it goes back to, Terry, that document, Voting with a Clear Conscience.
Yes. Again,
people can get it at prolifeproducts.org. Together with, we have other brochures and booklets too that go into even more detail. Yep. But prolifeproducts.org, they can order that. And they can also order, by the way, I know I talked to you about this offline.
Sure.
They can order a 30-day, and of course we're less than 30 days now, but we created a prayer guide for the election, a different prayer for each day. And so people at that same website or at prolifevote.com. That's the other website to remember, prolifevote.com. They can order this 30-day prayer guide. And so what we're doing is getting a different prayer each day. And each of these prayers focuses on a different angle, like the one we discussed earlier about, I'm going to sit out the election. No, you can't do that. Or, the abortion issue or these ballot measures or fraud and deceit in the elections. You have to pray against that. Protection of President Trump. They've tried to kill him. There's all these different ways that we need to be praying.
Yes.
And this guide hits every one of them in the course of all the prayers.